so dehydrated out here. I mean, it's so bad out here. It's just so bad out here.
Good morning. This is Heather Hill. I am the leader of Come and Take It, Texas, and have moved to Florida kind of in order to get away from some of the drama and trauma that's going on in the world, and it is impossible to escape it. So I am here now interviewing someone here in Sanford, Florida, who is going through some difficult situations, and we're going to talk to her. So hold on for just a minute. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
You know, I've seen better days.
Me too.
It's difficult.
Me too.
The world, it seems like, is melting down into a situation that's impossible for us to deal with. So what's your name?
Lauren.
Lauren? Where are you from?
I'm originally from New York.
New York?
Yeah, I moved down here in 2008.
In 2008?
Yeah.
So you've been a resident here in Florida for a long time.
About 18, going on 18 years.
Wow. And you were telling me before we started this interview that you are involved in the restaurant industry.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What's your experience?
Well, started off in trade school when I was 16. Wound up graduating with a scholarship to Johnson Wells Culinary Arts.
Nice.
And it just, unfortunately, on my way to college with my teacher on the way, we got into a car accident.
Oh, no.
And instead of doing the 4 years in Johnson Wells, I did 5 years of learning how to re-walk with 3 surgeries.
Wow.
So it put me back in life.
Yeah.
And I was unable to work and unable to go to college. So, but I've always still tried to be in the restaurant business. I've been waitressing. I've been in the food industry on and off for 42 years now.
Wow. So you still are involved. It just puts you back
always,
in life at that point in time.
I learn more and more in each restaurant that I've worked in. And I've had a lot of experience now. They can actually put me anywhere in the restaurant, and I got it, you know.
See, I'm kind of jealous because I would have loved to have worked in the industry, in restaurant culinary.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of good people.
Yeah, and there's actually good money to be made.
Very good money.
You know,
Very
in
good
that
money.
industry. Now, myself, from Texas, this is silly to sound, but I actually make cheese.
Really?
I'm a cheesemaker.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, that's a little bit of a different experience.
I love doing it,
Well, that's
you know?
good.
And so I'm trying to figure out how to launch my business here in Florida when I was in Texas for 12 years. And in Texas, I was active with an organization that was helpful in changing the laws. So I don't really tell many people about that because it's, I don't know, frowned upon. It's controversial.
I don't see why it would be frowned upon as cheese. I mean, everybody loves cheese. I'm an Italian Portuguese girl from New York, and cheese, mozzarella, we all about it.
I know, exactly.
It's all about the mozzarella and the American cheese. I mean, you know, everybody loves cheese, so I wouldn't look at it as a downfall at all. I think it's a great experience.
Yeah, it's hard though because it's milk and everybody gets all weird about it. And so setting up, like in Texas, I had all my licenses set up and I was going to farmers markets, but I had to do it on the down low, right?
Right.
Because if you aren't actually registered and licensed, and it's very expensive, and then you're not allowed to sell cheese anyways. People are afraid of cheese. Why in the world would you be afraid of cheese?
I don't know. I've never heard of such a thing. I gotta keep it real with you.
Yeah.
I've never.
It's a government thing.
Well, government cheese is a whole different world of its own.
Right.
Everybody does make fun of government cheese. You know, the welfare people like myself.
Yeah.
I don't even eat that kind of cheese.
Like American cheese you're talking about.
Yeah,
Plastic. We call it plastic cheese in this world.
It's the cheese that don't melt.
Yeah. Right.
It's the cheese
Yeah.
that you don't know. And that's a little scary. I can see that. But in reality, with cheese, it goes on everything. It should be a moneymaker all around.
Yeah, people
really
love it.
should.
All right, well, let me ask you something controversial. This is a very controversial subject, and everyone has an opinion about it. What do you feel? How do you feel about firearms?
I really don't think firearms should be legalized. Reason
Okay.
being is people get too happy with them.
Yes.
And then everybody starts running around with them. And the first thing when someone gets mad enough and a quick no, it's over.
Right.
It's just population control.
I think that's part of the issue.
I just think it's population control.
Yeah.
Myself, I run around with a blade.
Right, which is legal.
You're right.
Yes, you can legally, you could actually, in this state, you can legally carry a firearm.
Yes.
Also.
Yes.
And it's because we have a constitutional carry act that was passed
But
recently.
for women out here on the streets, and women in general, actually, we're unprotected when it comes to men.
Right.
So we have to protect ourselves. So when we
Yes.
carry our blades around like I do,
I see. Okay, you have a
the guy
Milwaukee.
takes a look at
Nice.
that and they don't mess with that.
Right, they
and
know.
They just walk away because they know if we're carrying them, we're using them.
Right, exactly.
And if they see women, all women around, no matter where we are, if they're
Right.
by themselves,
Yep.
women have to protect themselves
Yes.
somehow. If we're not armed with something,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have a shot.
Right.
Because men are so much stronger than women.
Yes.
And we all know that.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have been abused in a domestic violence case.
Yeah.
I also was almost murdered by my ex-husband.
Yeah.
So I know.
Yeah.
And it's not a good thing for women to have to go through.
Yeah.
It causes a lot of trauma and
Yeah,
drama.
it is.
And
It's
we have
scary.
to live with that.
Yep.
So we have to be able to do something.
Yeah. So I agree. I absolutely agree. So I think it was around 2016 in the state of Texas, a young woman was walking home from the university and she was picked up off of the street and raped and murdered.
See what I'm saying?
Exactly. So I found that so offensive that I thought it was important for women to be able to defend themselves in any way possible. So I worked on helping pass laws in the state of Texas to protect women in particularly by opening up the ability for women to carry firearms openly or concealed. So I'm a big advocate for concealed carry because of the fact that women were unable to defend themselves.
If I may.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I agree to disagree with that.
Uh-huh.
Reason being is women that have already been through trauma in a major kind of way with men or
Yes.
anyone. We tend to snap quicker than the normal average bear.
Yeah.
So to legalize the firearms to the women, whether they have felonies or not, to carry, women snap too easy. I don't think that would be a good thing.
You think we're too emotional?
I think we're very too emotional, and we've been through so much that it would take us something to fire.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think it would cause a lot of havoc in that case. I don't think that's such a. I would say take classes,
Right.
Defensive classes,
Right.
counseling,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Carry weapons,
Right. Like a mace.
The mace.
Or something like
right.
that.
For women, only because it's enough.
Right.
If we let it be enough.
Right.
Because there's a lot of women out here in Florida that I know of that are too quick on a dime. In other words, a man says the wrong thing and they have a flashback, they're pulling.
That's interesting. So yeah, I absolutely
Take
I
boxing classes, karate
Yeah.
classes.
Get in shape.
Get athletic.
Yeah.
Get your anger out athletically. That's my thing.
Yeah, that is
Because
absolutely.
it's a way out. It's
Yep.
a way out to relieve that your trauma stress.
Yep.
Hit a bag. Hit a
Yep.
boxing bag. karate kick it.
Yeah.
Something like that, just to get it out of your system
Yeah.
on a daily basis or 3 days, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
But as far as a firearm, I'm not hip to it.
Yeah, they're too dangerous. They are dangerous. I
Men
agree.
carry them around because
Yeah.
they're men.
Yeah, they
It's
think
a
that
little
they're a little
differently.
more level.
Men ain't just gonna pull it out and shoot anybody for something stupid. Women will. I know I would.
I'm gonna have to look up some stats and see.
Yeah.
Because I empathize with exactly what you're saying. They are dangerous. There is training involved. And so as someone that tries to help in women's safety, I think it would be really helpful to have more firearms training for women.
Well, that would be fine.
Yeah.
Women are better safety in numbers.
Yes, this is true.
Safety in numbers.
Yeah.
We all know, don't go out at dark when it gets dark.
Yeah, don't be outside.
Or if you're going to have a buddy.
Right,
Or have your phone on the phone.
right.
There's so much more to do than just pull a gun out.
Yeah, safety in numbers is important. I agree. That's very important. And that's hard, though, when you're living on the street.
Absolutely.
That's what we were talking about.
Absolutely.
It's like you've been
women
forced.
on the street, we carry a gun around. Who's to say, we have a bad day and take our own selves out because we have a gun?
Oh yeah.
Make it easy.
Suicide.
Women are too emotional to have a gun like that. I feel as though it's a dangerous thing.
What's really sad to me is that 2 of my friends and men have committed suicide using firearms, using
Women are
not
too
even
quick. Women
not
are too
even
quick.
handguns, but long arms.
Yeah.
And so, yep, that is an issue. Definitely.
Women are too. I'm a woman. I'm
Yeah,
very
I
emotional.
understand.
I have a lot of bad days in a row living on the streets right now.
Yeah, well, let's see how we can get you off the street.
That would be great.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get off the streets as soon as possible. I never even wanted to be out here in the first place.
Yeah, and
Who
I
does?
have in the past, like I was saying, in Texas, helped people to at least try and get them off the streets by using our voices.
Right.
And that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to start a podcast to use my voice to help people in your circumstances. And so I thank you for
You're
taking
very
the
welcome,
time to talk to me.
anytime. And
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm gonna
letting me
get-
let that out to the world.
Yeah.
And I hope whoever's listening takes it all in
Yep.
and realizes that life is nothing but changes.
Yes.
Well, let's make them good changes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we all have to start somewhere. So let's just start here and now, today.
Thank
all right?
you. Thank you very much.
All right, Lauren, it is, right?
Yes,
Lauren,
yeah.
thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that.
You have a
So these are the real issues that are facing Floridians right now. I know we have these issues in Texas. We've had them for a long time, but as the world is melting down, there is becoming more homeless here in the state of Florida. And, as silly as it sounds, I'm thankful because at least here in Florida, how we were working in Texas, we were trying to get people into tents and get them clothed so that they weren't freezing to death, because in Texas, that's a real issue. Freezing to death while you're on the street. Here in Florida, it isn't as big of a problem because the weather is so beautiful, but they're facing other issues at this time. They're facing issues of people like not being allowed to rest. Lauren has not been allowed to take the moment to rest so she can recover, so she can get back into her industry, which she is very skilled at. So we're going to try and do something to help her and see if we can't get our voices heard here in the state of Florida. This is Heather Hill. I'm one of the leaders of Come and Take It Texas, and I would like to wish you a very good day, and we'll be back with you because we're starting a podcast quite soon, and this is going to be the types of issues we're going to be discussing. Thank you for your time. Heather Hill, we're out of here.